The Move to Helenowo, an extract from Chapter 6 of The Dolls We Left Behind, a child's wartime journey from Poland to Persia by Eugenia Krajewska, published by Siostry Krajewskie Press. The 86th Infantry Regiment, to which father belonged, was relocated to the new garrison town of Helenowo, just outside Mołodeczno, in September 1922, from their previous base in Wilno. The new headquarters was situated at the top of the hill, at the end of a kilometre-long asphalt road. In the absence of public transport, it posed something of a challenging walk for visitors. But having made the journey, it was worth it just to pass through the imposing triumphal arch, popularly known as Brama Mińska, or Mińsk Gate, comparable in scale and grandeur to the Arc de Triomphe in Paris, and just as significant for the Polish cultural imagination. Completed and unveiled on 22nd June 1930 by Polish President Ignacy Mościcki, it consisted of a central arch with adjoining colonnaded wings on either side and narrow arches for pedestrians. On the massive rectangular plinth stood the statue of Nike, the armoured goddess of victory, left arm resting on her sword, right arm stretched skyward in a symbolic gesture, holding a torch and proclaiming the ancient oath, Bóg I Ojczyzna, God and the Fatherland. Beneath the statue was an inscription in bold letters, clearly legible from below, which declared the tribute, Bohaterom podległym w obronie ziemi mińskiej, to the heroic defenders fallen in defence of the Minsk lands. On both sides of the arch stood two helmeted knights, their hands on the pommels of their swords, at the ready to guard the entrance against intruders. At each end of the colonnades rested two lions on rectangular plinths, their heads facing the entrance. Of course, this magnificent gate presented an irresistible backdrop for photographing our dolls. We sat the three dolls in between the paws of one of the lions. My old favourite is posing in the middle, the other two on either side. These two were very special and the latest wonder in the world of dolls. They had real plaited hair, Nusia's dark brown, mine blonde, just like our own. They would open and close their eyes, which had long lashes. Father bought them for us on one of his music courses away from home, and they were our prized possessions. Some years later, Mama exchanged them for precious food at the Uzbek market near Bokhara, when we were literally starving, as there was no provision for the hundreds of thousands of displaced Polish families trying to leave the Soviet Union. They must have made some little Uzbek girl very happy, as we had been once. But we shed no tears for our dolls then. Our survival was more important than the toys of our childhood. As for the third doll, the one that was quite plain but most dear to me, I gave her to Evcha, our nanny, to remember us by, in a sincere gesture from my child's heart, during a tearful farewell, when the Belarusian militiamen came with orders for our deportation to Siberia. You couldn't leave this small and insignificant provincial town on the furthest reaches of the eastern Polish border without at least some thoughts of the past evoked by the imposing Mińsk Gate. With fields of golden corn on both sides in summer, for its Polish inhabitants it was highly symbolic of a precious peace secured by bitter armed struggle.